Okay, now, next presentation is SARS-CoV-2 pandemic, impact upon current and future educational models. Speaker is Professor Xippolitois from Stony Brook University in USA. She is a Dean Emeritus Tour Professor in School of Nursing. She did establish knowledge exchange program for Stony Brook University and Jeju Halla University. Thank you for her great role in the relationship. Please, Professor Lee.
Good morning, everyone. I really wish I were there with you to celebrate the success of the 14th Halla Newcastle PBL International Symposium. However, as you well know, our world is living through unprecedented times, and it was not possible for us all to come together physically this year. However, I want to applaud the symposium team for developing a virtual platform for us to meet and exchange ideas. I also would like to take a minute to thank President Kim and Jeju Halla University for hosting this program. President Kim has and continues to represent his commitment to an international solidarity among nursing faculty and students. I thank him for his support, and next year I hope I will be among those attending the 15th Halla Newcastle PBL International Symposium in South Korea. President Kim, your leadership is exemplary. Additionally, I'd like to take a minute to thank Dr. Susie Yoon. Her oversight and direction in organizing this symposium, from selecting this timely topic for discussion to creating a virtual platform, has been praiseworthy. I take my hat off to you, Dr. Yoon. And where would I be this morning if it was not for the Stony Brook tech team? Carrie Hollander and Yazu Dang are sitting here with me and have been spending quite a bit of time this morning getting this just perfect for the PBL Symposium. So to both of them, I thank them. Okay, as outlined in the program, my job today is to take a few minutes to talk to you about SARS-CoV-2, more commonly known as COVID-19. COVID-19 has impacted the way and the manner in which we educate nursing students. Speaking about it is no small task, and probably even minimizes much of the work that has already gone into organizing education, higher education, to educate our nursing students. As COVID-19 continues to sweep the world, interrupting daily life and dramatically altering traditional learning models in ways I never thought I would see in my lifetime, we as educational leaders are responsible for addressing worldwide challenges that affect more than 1.5 billion students. It's becoming clearer to all of us that the classroom we once taught in is not a place that we would be able to return to anytime soon, if ever. Recently, I was speaking with Dr. Annette Wasaki, the current Dean of Stony Brook University School of Nursing. We met over a scheduled Zoom meeting, which seems to be the way in which many of us communicate these days. Dr. Wasaki shared during our discussion her observation that COVID-19 has taken higher education by storm, forcing all academics to move online literally overnight. Additionally, she spoke about the increased blow this virus has imposed upon clinical placements for student nurses, an important and necessary component of our educational model. However, as we continue to speak about the challenges schools of nursing and universities are experiencing, it became clear to me that COVID-19 was a mere accelerator to the way in which we do business in higher education. That being said, the question remains, will we ever be able to return to the educational model that previously existed, or is it more logical to move forward with the realities COVID-19 has brought to the forefront and capitalize on the momentum that has been created? For me, as an educator, I think the pandemic is a window of opportunity for growth and innovation, and we'll speak to 3 practice areas that can guide us forward as we re-envision and reimagine the design and delivery of curriculum to our nursing students. The first area we need to appreciate as well as concentrate on is how do we move all academics to an online format. In our world pre-COVID-19, universities were investigating how to move curriculum and learning models to a digital platform. This policy push was met with resistance from faculty and oftentimes from students as well. Critics were vocal, stating that the ideals of digital literacy and digital pedagogies were mostly unexplored and rarely prompted the engagement necessary in the learning process. Students, on the other hand, shared concerns over technical support and costs for computers, internet access, quiet places to engage in synchronous or asynchronous programming, and just a typical learning curve, particularly if your student is over the age of 40. Then boom, COVID-19 hit. The discussion of whether to move online or not became a moot point. Social distancing was a must. So overnight, universities were forced to plug in, and an educational revolution was in play. Faculty had to step up, taking their face-to-face classroom content and move it online quickly. The call went out to faculty to develop novel strategies for online curriculum development and review. This was a challenge for many, particularly those faculties who did not employ simple technology techniques in their traditional learning spaces. Additionally, faculty needed to find ways to provide normalcy and security, an implicit student need, into their virtual classrooms. Otherwise, student engagement would be difficult and only add to the chaos many students were already experiencing. Likewise, strategies to teach student behaviors while online are skills that needed to be added to the curriculum. And, needless to say, creating quality education as well as evaluation standards for curricula and virtual learning environments were a must. While most universities were able to meet the immediate need of online education, and quite frankly, they really did a darn good job, demands to continue and improve this transition still exist. Faculty need to be trained to create alternate methods of assessing the participation component of their courses. Moving activities such as student presentations, group work, faculty one-on-one direction, testing, all are added burdens on faculty who are still adapting to learning new and unfamiliar technologies. In many institutions like Stony Brook University, specifically the School of Nursing, our faculty have relied and continue to rely upon the technical support team. This team has assisted faculty to develop as well as students to develop a strong online curricular delivery team. The decision to move to Blackboard, though a faculty directive, was put in place by a small team of tech staff run by Ms. Carrie Hollander. She and her team have made the School of Nursing's online transition a spectacular success. However, in many cases, faculty at other institutions did not have this support, which put constraints on their ability to move forward. Tech teams' support needs to be considered in all online academic endeavors. The second area we need to think about is the student learner. The lives of many students have been disrupted by this pandemic. Today, the notion of uncertainty is part of a student's daily routine. Many students are no longer living in dorms with their peers. Rather, they're home with family members and are required to maintain their academic work under radically different circumstances. Some students are now responsible for financially supporting their tuition as families are burdened with unemployment. Or students find themselves caring for family members who are sick with the virus. The demands upon students are paramount. Additionally, the evolution of their college classroom is constant. As faculty learn and adapt to the flexibility and benefits of technology and alter how curriculum is presented, so too must students learn and adapt how to respond to these constant changes. An additional factor is that students are being confronted with limited access to computers, laptops, and stable internet connections. At one point, these tools were educational enhancements, but now are necessary items that will allow students to create their own learning space. Additionally, access to libraries, movies, museums, all environments where learning can occur have become restricted for our students. And it can't be left unsaid, the socialization component of higher education has been seriously modified. Students are restricted from the downtime so necessary for a balanced education, as well as the support of peers during the learning process. To me, this is one of the most serious factors the pandemic has imposed upon our nursing students. These are all legitimate concerns. Therefore, it is incumbent upon university presidents and deans to design strategies that will help students navigate these difficulties. University mental health support services need to find virtual opportunities to help students. Faculty check-ins with students who are struggling needs to be routine and encouraged by university administrators. And students also need to be urged to speak up on their own behalf when they need help. Moreover, virtual environments through the Department of University Student Services need to be established so that normal socialization can occur amongst college students. All challenges need to be met on behalf of our students. Lastly, and third, the final area that needs to be addressed is global education policy. This pandemic is a global health pandemic and has affected education of young people in all nations, in all cultures, and in all areas of academics. If we, as a global learning community, have learned anything so far, hopefully we know and understand that we cannot isolate ourselves and fight this pandemic alone, nor can we call for isolated measures of educational creativity. Rather, what we learn needs to be shared among all nations and all peoples. I know this is a tall order. However, it has to start somewhere. Why not within the caring professions? Nursing, medicine, allied health, ministry. If COVID-19 has taught me anything, it has solidified in my mind the importance of unity, working together, sharing, and caring about our world and the people who live in it. Public health and public education go hand in hand. The focus must be on cooperation, not competition. Education flourishes when we all flourish. If education is a fundamental and universal human right, how can we take what we have learned and share it with others? I do not profess to have all the answers. However, I do know this symposium and other forums like it are ways in which our ideas and thoughts are brought to the forefront for consideration. I also know that what we have learned needs to be tested, improved upon, and tested once again. Research is paramount, as is publication. This pandemic has the power to undermine education for years to come, particularly in the most vulnerable global communities. In 2019, UNESCO launched the Future of Education initiative. This work delineated 9 principles necessary for strengthening global education. Their belief, and mine as well, is that decisions made today in the context of COVID-19 pandemic will have long-standing consequences for the future of education. I really suggest you take a look at their ideas when you get a chance. Their call to action can't be ignored. Well, my time is at a close. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this topic. In the words of a former Nobel laureate in literature and an American singer-songwriter, Bob Dylan, he wrote a song called "The Times They Are A-Changing." Though the song was written when I was 13 years old in the mid-1960s, I suggest to you that it's a message as powerful today as it was then. This song is all about deliberate change, an anthem, if you will, for people to come together and address the concerns at the forefront. For us, it is a pandemic that has upended the world of nursing education on a global level. Consider what he had to say. Dylan wrote, "Wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing." Thank you. Just love being with you this morning. Stony Brook strong.
I appreciate your presentation. I totally agree with you. You mentioned we need to create evaluation start for curricular and virtual learning environment. Thank you.